Since the dawn of Silicon Valley, there have been unicorns. No, not those kind of unicorns. A unicorn in the tech world basically means a company that's so revolutionary in its approach that entire industries or markets are fascinated by them. And in AI today, there are many supposed unicorns. However, in my opinion, at this point in 2025, there are five key ones that you need to know. Let's get right into it. I recently made a video on the top AI trends of the first 6 weeks of 2025, and one of the biggest things I identified there is the power of the model was more important than anything else to these companies. However, I think that's changed. Many companies have started to focus a lot on integrations and context integrations. What does that mean? Context integrations is basically when the LLM goes to another aspect of something that you're doing to learn on it. And one company, if you'll recall, that's been doing this since the start is Claude. Claude has been super focused on their applications, and models like their 3.5 Sonnet is capable of showing you every single step of its online research. As a result, they've built something called MCP, or Model Context Protocol. I'm actively working on a full video about MCP, but what you need to know for now is it's a standard way for anybody to get information online and input it into an AI. As a result of that, there are multiple companies that are using this new MCP format to make applications easier, and one of them is Manus. Basically, what Manus does is it integrates Claude as its internal LLM. So they're using Claude's capabilities, but they're building on it in integrations. One of the examples that was given in the demo online is a complete analysis of the real estate market. The AI, when asked by the user to analyze the real estate market, goes through step by step, looking at websites and real estate sites to see different properties in the area, calculating the budget for the user, and then creating a full report after completing its research of all the important aspects of purchasing a home in a certain area, as well as what the top homes on the listing currently are in terms of location, pricing, and every single aspect that you could think of when buying a home. The fascinating part about this is every single step of this was displayed to the user so they can actually see how the AI is thinking about answering their question. There have been some questions about whether Manus's solution is actually true or not, but if they are, I think it's going to be one of the predominant application layer AI apps for the future. However, Manus is not the only startup that's focusing on this information. There's another one called Composio, which I think is absolutely incredible. What Composio does is it provides 250 plus integrations for your LLMs, from Google Docs to GitHub. Composio is looking to make life a lot easier for a lot of developers by reducing the amount you need to rely on APIs. An API is a platform that makes it really easy for you to access stuff from a website and use it in your own application. With Composio, you can access more than 250 different apps, from GitHub to Google Docs, by literally using a couple lines of code. For instance, when I started my first GitHub repository, it took me about 15 to 20 minutes to fully go through everything and make sure that my VS Code was plugged in. With Composio, I can do that in 2 minutes. With Composio, it's a lot easier to actually do tasks with the information, not just get information as well. I think Composio is a super promising startup. Another thing that I'm really learning is people are going hard on AGI. AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, basically means an AI that's at human level in basically everything. Turing is an AI-powered, human-led company, which is a combination of internal experts, global talent, and proprietary AI technology working together to accelerate and innovate companies and careers better. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, for one, Turing is at the absolute forefront of AGI research, and this has allowed them to partner with companies like OpenAI, especially for the human data aspect of things. Moreover, Turing has a network of multiple highly experienced professionals which are ready to assist for any startup application. As a result of this, it is apparent to see that Turing has been very successful in recent years, with a recent round of $111 million, putting the company at $2.2 billion in evaluation. In my opinion, Turing is one of the most insightful and fast-growing companies ever, and I can't wait to see what it does next. Another fascinating AI startup that I've observed recently is called Loveable. Loveable is your full-stack engineer, completely prompt engineered using AI. What you can do is you can text something to Loveable and tell them to write a code for you, and the AI will generate both a front end and a back end and work with you actively to develop a startup. I think it's incredible what Loveable is doing, and they are using a lot of really fascinating tools in their approach. Technically, according to Loveable, you can literally launch a product in less than a day. You can ship an entire front end in one prompt, and you can build your design idea to life without tedious prototyping. Moreover, you can even empower non-technical team members to code using Loveable. What they want to do is minimize the amount of effort that you're putting in actually writing code and make it very easy for you using their AI. Loveable is definitely still early stage. However, I think they have a lot of promise as a company. And who knows, maybe in the future none of us will be coding at all. And the final startup on this list for me is Sesame. Have you ever opened your phone, gone to ChatGPT, and used the voice model? Most of the times it sounds really great, but sometimes it buffers or sounds really bizarre. This is because of something called the uncanny valley. When something is almost human sounding or behaving, but not quite, it's very weird for us. As a result of this, many companies have tried and failed to perfectly bridge the uncanny valley, both in visual applications like robotics and in auditory applications, two big players being Alexa and Siri. But they have not fully succeeded in bridging this gap yet, which is why Sesame is such a revolutionary startup. Sesame uses cutting-edge AI technology to make the best and least unnatural sounding AI voice model ever. I've interacted with this voice model a couple times as part of their demo, and it is incredible. Sometimes if I close my eyes, I can't tell if I'm speaking with a human or an AI model. I do plan on making a complete video on voice chat sometime down the road, and at that point I will definitely benchmark Sesame as compared to other models, in my opinion. That concludes our covering of the top 5 biggest unicorns of 2025. AI integrations in MCP with both Manus and Composio, model training with Turing, software development and full stack engineering with Loveable, and voice models with Sesame. While many of these startups are not necessarily for direct consumers, if you keep these names in your back pocket for any high-level AI discussion, you'll definitely impress the crowd and introduce them to these fascinating startups as well. Please, if you get a chance, take a look at all of these incredible startups. I've linked them in the bio. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe to NeuroBridge. It really helps me out and enables me to continue making videos. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Bridging the Gap Together.